Hey everybody, so I just finished my JOB job and it's like 8:05, 8:10, something around there. So I'm gonna continue sanding today because everyone loves to sand after work when you're already tired. I'm not feeling it today, I'm just not. But I don't wanna do it another day, so I wanna get it done so I don't have to do it again. So that's kind of how things work for me. I do a full-time job. And very often I'm pretty tired when I start work, and it takes me a bit to get in the groove for like construction. I got to kind of wake up after sitting down, looking at data, numbers, algorithms, things like that all day. So today the goal is to get some of the sanding complete, and I just have like this top area to do, which shouldn't be bad. I already did like 3 coats up there. It should just be pretty quick. And then I'm going to come along with the light shining sideways to see any imperfections at all, and then go and sand those out. And then I'll have like a final, like just touch up here and there. And I use the quick dry mud. I'm not good enough to do like a 5 minute, so I do a 20-minute mud. And I like the stuff in the bags. I did the boxes the first coat just because it's easier for me. Although I like the bags more. Just because the mud smooths out better, you don't get those bubbles in it. And so I just get a paddle mixer, and I'll show you that once I'm ready for it. It'll probably be later tonight, hopefully. For this theater room, just some concepts that I was thinking of on this. First off, let me get some light in here. I have HDMI, I have it wired for 7.1 surround. I got my power cable, and I actually did a power cable. So here's the main power, and then this power is actually what goes up to here in case I ever wanted to do a TV or something like that in place of a projector screen, because they're getting bigger and cheaper. And then the other cable actually goes back to where my projector is going to hook up just beyond this supporting beam. So the reason for that is because some of the cables and things like that, or some of the what do you call them, the controller units and the amplifiers, they can tell your projector when to turn off and on, which I really like, because sometimes people leave them on forever and then you burn your bulbs out, they go out quicker, things like that. The other thing is I did in the ceiling can lights. There's 6 in here. And I sectioned these rooms off because I have a load-bearing beam that I just could not change. I guess you could, enough time and money, you can do anything, but I didn't want to. Here, you want to hold this? And so we did these. They're not can lights, but I can do a flush mount light on these. These are just normal light outlets. And so the plan is, again, I think they're called RGB lighting, where it can connect to some sort of a conversion box through HDMI to your theater projection. So if it's, for example, if it's very light on the top of the screen, it'll light these up very light, so it's an immersive experience with surround sound and lighting. So going with that same theme, you're going to see an outlet up here that's like partially mudded over, whatever. So I'm going to do a crown molding that mostly covers this, and then a rope lighting in there that's RGB that can sync up to my unit, so that lighting can come on as well with the theater, so it's all immersive. So it's a big explosion up top. It'll turn orange and whites and yellows and all those colors, and those will flash on accordingly. And if top left is yellow and top right is like black, it'll turn those on accordingly. Same thing over here. If you look behind us, I went with the same thing. So I have my outlet. It's actually right here. You can't see it because I mudded over it. Over here. And so your outlet's here because that's the place you'll see it less, even if you could see it. But the crown molding is going to cover most of that anyway. And then you'll see 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are for the sconce lights. So I really like the look of those in a theater, so I wanted to have both options. I was wiring anyway, and that's like no extra work really. It's a quick rough wire run when it was studded. So that was the other plan on that. And then down here, you're going to see an outlet, and that's for whatever step lighting I want, or lighting under the theater seating, things like that. The theater step, I actually did another one of these in another property, but the step was 2 feet smaller this way. And what happened was when you're reclining in your theater seating, especially if you have higher end stuff, which I don't do because my kids beat it up, but with higher end stuff, it's going to be even longer. And we found that the foot section that would extend out would extend past the step. And the front couch always got pushed back. Just people naturally push it back when they sit down, and until it bumps the step. And I was always adjusting and always moving it. It was driving me nuts. So I extended this one 2 more feet. So I believe this is a total of 8 feet. Yeah, because it's 4 and 4. So this is an 8-foot step, and I recommend doing at least 8 foot. 7 would be okay, but 8's probably better. And this room is like 25 feet long, so I think it's fine. The other things I did is I put switches back here, because I had that in another theater and it was already a 3-way switch. I just went with the wiring that was in there, and I ended up really liking it because when you're sitting down, it's nice to just shut off the lights and you can just hit them right there and it's all good. Or if you get sick of like the lighting up top, you just shut it off during the movie. You don't have to like get up, move your drink, move your popcorn, whatever you're doing. Also, the plug outlets, they're higher up just because when you're sitting down, it's nice that sometimes you have your phone with you, sometimes you have a device that controls your equipment or the lighting, and it's nice to be able to plug it in and charge it while you're doing stuff, or maybe you're like on your laptop, like working remote. Yeah, let's be honest, you're watching the freaking movie. So, the other thing is the component cable back here, and this just ties in. It's actually got, if you come in here real close over here, you're gonna see in the wall there's a PVC pipe. I went thin wall because it doesn't really matter. But that's, I think, a 1 inch. And that goes all the way from here over to here. And that component cable comes out. So I can run it through. You can actually see the 2 pipes coming right here. Come over here. And you can see the 1 inch back in here. And then I have a 1 1/4 or 1 1/2, something like that, for like my HDMI, just because it's easier to run. And that HDMI, it goes to, I haven't cut it out yet, the outlet box is right here I have it marked. But this is where it's gonna come to for the projector screen, because it has to be at least this far back for the throw for a standard projector. I wanted to get it here so it would kind of be hidden from the room, but just the throw wouldn't work with the standard projector. I don't want something custom every time I get it, so. And then the other cable, I have another HDMI coming back here. And this one, so you have power, and you have an HDMI. And this HDMI actually comes out over there in that same box. And the reason why, and it comes from here, and it goes down to here, and from here it goes all the way around into pipe. And I put pipe in the wall because I've had HDMI cables go out, and then I have to pull out baseboards and cut the sheetrock out and run it again. Rather than do that, I just take the old one, tape it onto the new one, and I pull it back through and I'm good. Same thing for that one. And then same thing for the projector. All cables, it would be awful, like HDMI and component. To change later, I put pipe inside the wall with a metal bracket to make sure you don't staple through it or screw through it. With any luck, I still did. Okay, I think that's everything. You can see the speaker outlets. I chose to do remote speakers, which is cheaper. I can later put ones up in the ceiling if I wanted to, but you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's complete, surround. And I think that's it. That's kind of the plan in here. Coming out here. The plan in here is to have another TV here because you don't always want to be in the theater. Sometimes you just want to hang out and we're just going to have couches out here. A seating area, a little coffee table. And all these windows are going to kind of showcase, like there's a pool area here and then the outside section right there. So that's the plan for today. And so I'm just going to be sanding and want to get sanding done and then the final coat of touch-up mud with that quick dry mud. And hopefully we'll get that far. So tomorrow I can think about putting in the doorway here. and I'll show you how to seal things off in there. So we're just gonna go in, I guess just put the camera somewhere, and then we're just gonna start working. That's when you guys probably wanna leave. The other thing I do is, I always use a mask with HEPA filter. It's a really good mask. I was certified in asbestos removal once upon a time. Never do it, it was miserable. So I use this when I sand. Why breathe the dust if I don't have to? So I have a good mask, it's an expensive mask. So I always use that. No matter what I'm doing, it's like, unless it's like wood, I don't care about that, but you get the point. So yeah, you can start rocking and rolling. And then come through. Should we put this somewhere and then we can, I don't know where to put it.
Dad, one of the outlets got covered by something. Dad,
Oh yeah, we'll have to clean that later.
that takes that out. Make it some-
So this is where we do the timeout?
Yeah, probably. Let me do